Well, it's time now to review headlines on today's newspapers with the Ombudsman of This Day and Arise Media Group and This Day Newspapers Limited Group Executive Director, Kayode Komolafe. Mr. KK, good morning. Welcome to our Sunday Tonic program. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Oji. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, KK.
I'm pleased to be here.
Yeah. Fantastic.
All right. Yeah. Okay, let's jump right into it. We'll start the newspaper review, as always, with This Day on Sunday, the newspaper of record. Key interesting stories on the cover of This Day today. The news of the day clearly is on the Ambassadorial-Nominees list. There, of course, there is a story about insecurity, there is politics, and there is a story about health. Let's start from the cover, the lead story itself. Tinubu sent 32 additional Ambassadorial-Nominees list to Senate for confirmation. And the two riders supporting the headline says ex-INEC chair Yakubu, ex-governors Ugwanyi Ikpeazu, Femi Pedro, Jimo Ibrahim, Ajimobi's wife, Femi Fani-Kayode, Reno Omokri make list. They are part of the 32, in addition to the first three names that the president sent to the Senate. And then PDP faults list, demands withdrawal. Later, if we check the cover of the Punch, and I think one or two other papers, they are also focusing on the controversy that some of the names have brought about, some of the names on the list. But This Day is very clear about staying with the story without embellishing it. Tinubu sends 32 additional Ambassadorial-Nominees list to Senate for confirmation. We do not know where those 32 will be posted, but we see that about 17 or so are non-career diplomats and about 15 or so career diplomats. And I think about 10 or 12 women in total, or about 15 actually in total, which speaks to a good balance. But of course, you know that we can't run away from the fact that why this person is a political patronage.
What do you mean this person? Is it Reno Omokri? Or
there have been a lot of things about Reno, about
Femi
Fani-Kayode, even about the PDP governors, who some people believe that are being compensated the same way that the minister of FCT.
Is there a minister or a senator on the list as well?
No, I'm saying former governors.
No, I'm talking about on the list. Is there supposed to be a senator or a minister?
Oh, yes, Barrister Jimo Ibrahim, who looks like he will be leaving the Senate,
right,
for an ambassadorial position. For those who know him like I do, he has, in the inner enclave, what he was always addressed as is His Excellency. And I think that he would naturally get that title now as an ambassador. And of course, I do congratulate him. If you can choose to say, I prefer to leave, Senate. Some people think that maybe Senate is higher, than ambassador, but it's a question of,
choice.
It will be choice and, preference, His Excellency. But we have 32 additional names aside the three that the president sent to the Senate. So we have 35 that will be posted out once Senate has confirmed. We know, of course, that the first three will go to the US, UK, and France. Some people say that there are other big 10, and given the names that are here, it looks like the most important countries will get ambassadors and high commissioners, first. So that's the lead on the cover of This Day today. On top of that, President vows to work tirelessly to tackle insecurity. Bajaru, Ubasani, others call for decentralized security approach in Northwest. Porous borders, drug crisis, fueling regions' violence, says Kaduna Governor. And on top of the masthead, that's a cherry news. Resident doctors suspend nationwide strike. I think that would be good news for a lot of people, especially those who do go to, government hospitals. And they are by far in the majority. So that's good news that they are suspending. Let's hope that it will be permanent. And all the issues that the resident doctors have raised with the government are being sorted. On the window is a political story. ADC, only viable alternative for Nigerians, says Atiku insists APC, PDP have failed. This is a former vice president of Nigeria who spent 8 years as vice president under PDP, who has been a member of APC. As a matter of fact, was a member of APC, when late President Muhammadu Buhari was installed as the president. But here we have him say that those two parties that I used to belong to have failed. I hope, I guess, together with the 8 years that he served as vice president. And the only viable alternative is the new party that is yet to be tested, that is filled with many people who are from the PDP of old. He says that is the only viable alternative that can save Nigeria. That's from our vice president, Abubakar Atiku, speaking. And last but not the least, as far as the stories are concerned, Nenadi Usman-led faction of LP submits leadership list to new INEC boss, Amunkwiton. That's the Labour Party, which, as far as we know, still have Mr. Peter Obi as the former presidential candidate. And then, more also importantly, the picture on the cover, Guinea-Bissau crisis on their minds, showing former President Goodluck Jonathan being received by President Bola Tinubu at the presidential villa following his return from Guinea-Bissau yesterday. And it is of note, to also highlight the fact that for those who are saying that, it's the Ivorian plane, a jet that took him out of Guinea-Bissau, former President Jonathan was clear about saying that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president, was 100% into how he was rescued, but that they needed to allow the Ivorian plane to take him out of Guinea-Bissau because it was closer, and the logistics of language,
just logistical issues. That's really all it is, yeah.
And because it was closer, and that they had to tell the effort on the plane that was to come from Nigeria to wait, since that one was going to take him. And he did express gratitude to President Bola Tinubu, and I'm sure that's why he too received him at the presidential villa yesterday. I mean, yesterday on the program, I did mention that Guinea-Bissau will be of interest to President Bola Tinubu, given that Guinea-Bissau was the first African country that he visited when he became president in July of 2023, and also in November of 2023 when he was invited by this president that has now been deposed, which of course President Jonathan is saying that he concocted, the coup. So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was invited in November to celebrate 50th anniversary of Guinea-Bissau. So he will be interested in what is happening in that small country of 2 million people that is giving everybody headache, from drug barons to coups to this and that, joining the Sahel gang that have now gone to the military. So at least it was a good thing. He will have taken proper briefing from former President Goodluck Jonathan.
Right.
Those are the stories, KK, for your views.
Yeah, thank you, Steve, and thank you to Oji. Yeah, right, the front page.
You were hoping that you'll be on the ambassadorial list, KK.
Thank you for
the wait.
Thank you for being a well-wisher.
If one or two people that we won't want to mention can be on that list, what happens to our own KK?
I think I'm okay to be a reporter.
No, when you are called, you won't say no.
I think I'm satisfied being a reporter.
Oh,
for
you
now.
would say no if they call you?
You said?
You would say no?
I said I'm satisfied being a reporter for now.
Okay, Mr.
But thank you for being a well-wisher. Yeah, the front page of This Day Today, is a mixture, like Riley said, Steve, of political, security, and also development stories.
Yeah.
But I like us to start with the front page photo.
Okay.
Because it's what we will call a photo essay, because it tells a story, it's not photo, and that is that we should, pay tribute to President Goodluck Jonathan, for being a statesman. That is the way a former head of state, a former president should conduct himself, and also in relating to a successor. I mean, we see his image. I mean, it was in Guinea-Conakry, for election monitoring,
Yes.
and was actually handling a sub-regional, assignment, which he has handled, quite admirably, and competently, and, represented Nigeria very well, and it's only proper, and fitting that on his return, he should consult, with his president and, give a report, like you rightly said, say, we should respect, I think, former president, should show respect for incumbents, for all the office which they have occupied before.
Absolutely.
I mean, they should not relate to it, with contempt, and it's always it's good, And I think again, the Jonathan example, is something that we can present, for others to follow. Now, if you permit, I'd like to start with actually the good story on the front page, and that is the end to the doctors' strike. Because it's an issue of development. When especially in the social sector, when doctors and other workers in the medical sector, nurses, pharmacists, and others, when they are on strike, the situation should be perceived as that of emergency because of the implication, for lives. When you put yourself in the position of a patient, who's perhaps supposed to go to theater, who is supposed to have treatment, and all of a sudden, because of the disruption, in the sector that is a strike, so for that particular patient, it's a matter of almost an emergency, and in the same way, it should be perceived nationally. The same thing too in the education sector, So I think as much as possible, the government and also the organizations of the organizations of workers in the health sector, as well as in the education sector, should engage more, and let us have a system whereby we will not be having strikes in the health sector and the education sector,
Yes.
Because when we do, the implications, for social development, the implication for people's welfare, for implication for progress, are so immense, that it may the headline may just read a 30-day strike, a 40-day strike, a 2-week strike. But when you look at the overall impact on social development, it is the enormity, is should be very obvious. So it is good news that doctors are on strike, and I think that the engagement should continue. And now that doctors' strike has ended, we should also work, to prevent nurses' strike, to prevent pharmacy strike, to prevent, medical technologies and others, other medical workers strike, So the government should be able to have an engagement that you put into place the instrument, of collective bargaining, that all these needs are, all these demands, are meant, and that you have a dialogue in place. Now the other stories. We will take the list story, the ambassadorial
list. Nominees list.
Yes, the president has done what the Constitution requires. He's made his nominations and sent to the Senate. The screening, the responsibility for screening is that of the Senate. So anybody who has any issue, whatever, should pass it to the Senate, and then we should also expect the Senate to do the proper thing to ensure that the nominees that are sent to them are properly screened and are found to be fit and proper to represent Nigeria, in other countries. And let me also say this, that in trying to preview, what the Senate screening should be, that there is no hard and fast rule, about how the Senate, does the job. Every Senate, can actually decide the way it will do, the screening. I remember in the Second Republic, there was a nominee for ambassadorial position, for the Senate. Now, one of the questions, I think maybe not the only question that asked him, is and he happens to be a professor, I think, of physics or mathematics or so, And the question that the senator asked him was that, what is the title of the novel that you read last? You know, and that became news. Yes, that was what interested you. So I'm just trying to say that. So all these, you know, all this anxiety about this, and that the Senate can decide, you know, to screen. But what we should urge them is that all the nominees, they should be properly screened, and to be that those people who finally will be confirmed as our ambassadors to the various countries should be those people who are fit, you know, and proper to do to do the job. Yeah. Then the security issue quickly. Yes, very important. Yeah, you know, the president again gave, especially, you know, the assurance, you know, that of his full commitment to tackle insecurity, and the occasion was the passing out parade of 1,187 cadets, you know, from the academy, the police academy, you know, in Kano State, you know, and the occasion, you know, I mean, provided another platform, you know, for the president to assure the nation that he will put in all that is required, you know, to ensure security. And the other part of the story, I think it was a different forum where leaders of the Northwest, you know, met and also made a very important suggestion, you know, about security, you know, and that is saying that the security system should be decentralized, and that, you know, tackling the security situation in the Northwest will be a test case, you know, for the government in you know, solving, you know, the problem of insecurity in the country. Yeah.
All right, fantastic. I wanted just your thoughts on these non-career diplomats, because they made, you know, the headlines in some quarters. People have talked about the fact that I think we even got some secular and some, you know, conversations from the PDP and other opposition parties, people from Delta State saying that, you know, they don't want people like Reno or Mockery. But also, I think the most interesting, I don't know if I should call that, is the nomination of Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, who, you know, led the electoral body for 10 years. He's been nominated as a non-career diplomat. And again, I just have to clarify what the non-career...
The gentleman who conducted the election that brought the president into power. Yes,
I want to hear your thoughts on that. And I want to just clarify for our viewers and for people that have been talking what a non-career diplomat is. And usually, a non-career diplomat is an individual appointed to a diplomatic position from outside the professional diplomatic service, and is often based on political connections. And we have to stress that, because people are so confused. Why? And I thought that the INEC
is it political patronage where you having former this, former that, wife of former this.
Correct. Yes. All right, a quick thought on that, and then we move to this day style.
Yes, it is not unusual to have non-career, you know, diplomats, you know, being being appointed, or being representing their countries, you know. Some of the ambassadors, you know, in Nigeria are present, you know, representing their various countries. Some of them are non-career, you know, diplomats. So there's nothing, you know, strange about it, you know. So whether it is
Professor Mahmoud Yakubu,
yes, let me just finish. You know, I mean, what should be of concern, and I think what has been legitimately raised, especially by the professionals in the diplomatic establishment, is that the government should be worried, you know, ensure that the ratio of the non-career diplomat to the career diplomats, you know, should be such that you have more of career diplomats. Because when people go into foreign service, it's legitimate, you know, for a young man or young lady who has just been recruited in the foreign service. I mean, that to have the ambition that one day, you know, as the zenith, you know, that you become, you know, an ambassador, you know, and that is their own profession. It's a professional thing, you know. They are equipped, they undergo training, they have exposures, you know. So it is important that, you know, that you have, you know, more of them, you know. But that does not say, I mean, that does not mean that it is anything wrong, you know, to appoint a non-career diplomats, you know. The issue is just that we should be aware of. Okay. Then, as to query anybody may have about appointment of anybody, like I said, the
nomination.
I mean, sorry,
nomination.
The nomination.
Because they'll be appointed.
Yes, the nomination. The screening, the prerogative for screening is that of the Senate.
All right.
So if anybody has any issue, it should be forwarded to the to the Senate, yeah.
All right, this Day Style. The cover on the picture there is Bella Disu in self-discovery. Now, a business leader, Bella Disu is a business leader, and she received a standing ovation at TEDx Ikoyi after delivering a powerful talk titled Say Yes Now, Why Readiness is a Myth. Her message was simple but arresting. We do not become ready before we begin. We become ready by doing. I like that. In the talk, she explores why people and organizations hesitate at the very moments that require bold action. Drawing from business cases, she explained how Kodak stalled, how Blockbuster dismissed innovation, and how Apple accelerated not because it was the largest, but because it acted with clarity and conviction. Now I understand why she would have a standing ovation at that TED talk. I thought that, I did watch the video and I thought that she was quite impactful. Now, Bella Disu is the daughter of Globalcom head, Chief Mike Adenuga. And, she's also part of the GLOW organization leading the forefront. Powerful woman. She actually was nominated as one of the women making impact in Nigeria by This Day newspapers. Congratulations to Bella Disu. Really intelligent woman, and I always look forward to hearing from her and some of her impactful measures that she's been doing so far with her industry.
Fantastic! That's a beautiful
congratulations,
cover.
Bella Disu.
Congrats to her. She's fast becoming like the matriarch of the Adenuga family, isn't
absolutely,
it?
Absolutely.
And very brilliant in her own right.
Very, very brilliant.
Congratulations to Bella.
Congratulations,
absolutely.
Bella.
All right, that's
just about the time that we have
that's
for today.
All the time we have.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We await further nominees and list of ambassadorial, because
Will there be more?
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay.
There are more than 100.
We have
more than 100 that has been expected.
We have more countries.
So it might get to us.
You mean Mr. KK that has rejected it? I accept. I will never be shy. Okay. I'm ready for an appointment.
I know which country you should pick.
You know that. Well, all right.
All right. That brings us to the end of the morning show today. Thank you for watching, and do stay safe. I'm Steve Ayorinde.
All right, and it's been a pleasure having both of you on the show this morning. I'm Oji Okwe from our entire team here in Lagos, Nigeria. Enjoy the rest of your morning and, of course, the rest of your day. Goodbye.